Hi there, welcome back. In this video, we're going over how to calculate payroll and exactly what the payroll calculation is. And I'll be showing you the specific formulas to calculate payroll and understand how you pay employees. And we'll be looking at my payroll workbook for employees, which is from my Paying Workers and Owners course. Okay, so let's jump in. This first worksheet that's labeled tool for one-off calculation. So this is a tool just for calculating and understanding how payroll works and to look at, if you're paying someone a certain amount, what is the paycheck going to look like and what is the cost to you as an employer. So I have a lot of people that also use these spreadsheets to do manual payroll themselves if they've elected S-Corp status, which means that then they have to pay themselves as an employee. And so I have trainings on that as well, which we'll link around here or in the description below. For the one-off calculation, we are going to walk through looking at a paycheck amount and the taxes and how it works. And we're going to focus on federal taxes. Those are the biggest taxes, but your state taxes can apply in here too. And my spreadsheet template actually has more lines for state taxes as well, but we're just going to focus on federal. So the first thing we're going to do on row 5 here, it says enter pay for the period. So let's say you pay yourself $2,000 per pay period. So $4,000 a month and you pay yourself twice. This is going to calculate that exact paycheck amount. The next thing we're going to put in here is the pay periods per year. So if you're paying yourself 2 times per month, you have 24 pay periods in the year. The next line here says max Social Security wage limit. So for 2024, that's at $168,600. So our 2 main taxes for employees or self-employed are called payroll taxes or self-employment taxes. And those are Social Security and Medicare tax. Social Security tax, which is the bigger one, only applies up until $168,600. Once your amount goes over that, your income, you no longer have any Social Security tax. It's zero. So if you earned $168,601, there's no tax on the $1 that's over that limit. Social Security tax is 12.4% when you're self-employed. But when you're an employee, it's split. 6.2% the employee pays and 6.2% the employer pays. The same thing is true for Medicare. Medicare tax is 2.9% and the employee pays half, 1.45%, and the employer pays half, 1.45%. And Medicare tax applies to all income. There's no threshold. There's an additional little tax I forgot to mention on higher incomes called additional Medicare tax. And this is 0.9% on incomes over $250,000 for married filing joint or $200,000 for all other filers. But you're penalized if you're married filing separate. This tax is the opposite of Social Security. Social Security applied to the first $168,600 of earned income, whereas the additional Medicare tax starts at $1 over those thresholds, and it only applies to the amount above the threshold. Okay, so now let's go back to the spreadsheet and look at the calculation. In the first section here, we can see employee withholding, okay, which gets us to the net amount that the employee gets. So we have a $2,000 paycheck, but we need to withhold as an employer taxes on their behalf from their paycheck. Then they are going to actually receive deposited to the employee the net amount. And then as an employer, we also have to pay those half of payroll taxes. And so then we have a total amount that we've withheld and that we need to pay to the government as the employer. So let's come down here. The first tax, the biggest tax typically that's withheld from a paycheck is federal estimated income tax withholding. And I have training going over how you estimate that. You use the W-4 form that you fill out when you get hired as an employee, and you use this publication 15T, and you follow the instructions for manual payroll, and you come up with an amount that you withhold from your paycheck. Let's say that we did that, and the amount is, let's say, $300. Then we can see our Social Security tax at that 6.2%, it's calculating automatically on that $2,000. And same thing for Medicare. So that gives us a total amount that when we get our $2,000 paycheck, the employer is going to withhold $453, and the employee is going to get the net $1,547. Then the employer is going to owe an additional $153. That's the cost to you as the employer. Okay. And so the employer would need to pay in taxes to the federal government of $606 for that paycheck. That's how the taxes work on your paycheck. This federal estimated income tax amount, this tax is that tax you're filing when you do your April 15th tax form. You know, sometimes people will say, I'm getting a refund, or I didn't get a refund. What happened? Well, this amount might either have been too small or too high. Okay. And that's why at the end of the year, you get a refund or you owe an amount due. These other taxes, Social Security and Medicare, for both the employee and the employer, those are flat taxes. We're calculating the percentage on the $2,000. So it's not an estimate, it's the actual amount. Okay, so I hope that calculation made sense. If you're interested in my Paying Owners and Workers course, which breaks this down in way more detail, guides you step by step through getting set up to pay employees, do check it out. I'll show you the rest of this spreadsheet. That was just our tool at the start to look at what a paycheck amount would be with the taxes. The way this spreadsheet works is we have a worksheet that goes over every paycheck for one employee. And you duplicate this for each employee that you have. Then we have our monthly totals worksheet, which is going to be set up to sum up your monthly totals based on your employee worksheets into monthly totals. Then you'll have a quarterly total worksheet. So this is summing up the monthly totals into quarters, which we are going to use for our Form 941 records, which is what this worksheet is for. And so you can use these to file your tax forms, make your tax deposits. And again, I have cheat sheets and checklists guiding you step by step through this, whether you're paying employees or contractors or need to understand the difference and how to qualify for each, or you're a business owner set up with an LLC, sole proprietor, partnership, S Corp, or C Corp to understand how you're paid and taxed, because that's what you really care about, right? In those types of businesses. So check out some of my other videos for more information. If you have questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.